Namaste. Welcome to a new episode of Interesting Individuals by Thought Habitat Schools. So, over the time, we have interviewed a lot of interesting individuals in our channel. And today, we have someone who is far more interesting and far more different. Young, energetic, and can we say is someone pretty wacky? Or can we say she is someone beyond comprehension? Yeah. We have Pragya Bhagwat, a 13-year-old girl who can spin rhyme on almost anything. And her wackiness took her till the Deputy Chief Minister of New Delhi. Yes, and even he was very much impressed. Why was he so much impressed with her? And what makes her so wacky? And what makes her so fearless? As we all know, the name Pragya means the wise one. So how wise is this Pragya? So let us hear from Pragya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
And first of all, I want
Thank
to
you.
ask you, as people say you're pretty wacky and you can spin a rhyme on anything. So what makes you that special, in your opinion?
In my opinion, special would be a heavy word. But yes, I think some activities of mine would be a bit different than others. Like during my toddler days, I have been fascinated by rhymes. Whatever I saw and felt was important in my life, I won't write like an essay on it. I won't like a paragraph on it, but instead I would write a rhyme, because instead of reading that monotonous paragraph where you would just get tired of reading it, I would write a rhyme where words would be like a sing song and you would just feel happy and energetic just reading it. So I think that would be different. And unlike normal history studies, which can be quite boring, as I myself know, I like to convert everything into a poem. So if you would allow, I would like to tell a poem on history, which I recently made because I have an exam on Tuesday, which is of history. And in that, I was told to learn about the second independence freedom. So if you would allow me.
Of course, it is my pleasure. Please go ahead.
So, India's second freedom struggle, from Nawabs to Nabobs, the British conquest began long ago. They came from very far across the globe. Now, independence was a big no. Tax was high, pay was low. Every Indian had almost lost hope. 1857 के जाबाज ने खड़े कर दिए रोंगटे ब्रिटिश सरकार के. The Indian National Congress now took a stance with Dadabhai Naoroji and A.O. Hume's plan. 1878, the British got infuriated. The Arms Act and Vernacular Press Act refused to get negotiated. Moderates ने सोचा, ये चलाते हैं अपना देश अच्छे से, यही होने चाहिए नियम इंडिया के. The moderates knew the rules in India were very unjust, but they thought the British would be fair and just. Freedom is my birthright and I shall have it. With this slogan, the leaders started to split. With the dream of Purna Swaraj, the radicals with their objectives didn't want the British Raj. The new articles and papers weren't enough. The trio of Lal Bal Pal didn't give up. Thank you.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. So good that you can spin something so easily. And Pragya, as you were telling, special is not the word, would be a little too much. So can fearless be the word to define you?
Fearless, I say, would be right. As my thought on that would be like, it's true, because I'm not a studious type of person. I know my capabilities well. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. And I know how to use my capabilities to my advantage. Like, for example, I never went to play school. And the course and reading material, like I said before, was always monotonous to me. I wasn't never that studious type of kid, that perfect kid the teachers would like. Instead, I was a person who would like to ask questions and ask teacher a question that was way out of the topic. So my primary school teachers really loved that fact, and I even got the nickname Pataka by my very first teacher. That is, of course, after my mother, Ritu Ma'am, who was my primary school teacher. Even maths was interesting to me in the form of a game. And when I lost my interest, and I would just take my pen and start writing a few rhymes on it.
Okay, that sounds like another Shakuntala Devi in the making, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So, you say that you're not studious for the person you are, right? So, why would it be? Any specific reason, or is it just comments, random comments coming from everyone?
I wouldn't say it's random comments. I myself agree that I'm not at all studious. Like, I don't like to study paragraphs, essays. Instead, I like to study things that are completely out of the topic. For example, if you think astronomy, space, that's what fascinates me, and that is way beyond the course material. Even I like poems and rhymes. And those paragraphs, even I would complain to the teachers that no, I do not want to study this. So, yes, I'm not studious.
Okay, but given the fact that you told me that you follow some innovative techniques to study, yeah, would you like to explain some of those innovative techniques? Maybe I can use it to learn something new.
So during my toddler days, like I said before, I've been fascinated by rhymes. Whatever I saw and felt was in the form of poems that enabled me to convert anything I saw into rhymes and made me remember things very more easily. Even today, I don't learn paragraphs in history or science. I would turn whatever I read into a poem. So it makes learning easy and fun to correlate with, especially history, because it's deep, diverse, and very, very interesting. The best way to learn is I memorize a chapter, then I convert it into a poem. That poem would always have one or two lines of Hindi in it because how can you forget your national language? In them for a little amusement. But science, out of all of the subjects, remained as one of my favorite. And for that, I would do anything I could, like games, rhymes, poems, even sometimes stories on science. And apart from that, I really like doing experiments based on science as well.
Oh, that's nice. I'll try to use some of those techniques here. Yeah. And Pragya, you already did spin a rhyme on history. So, do you mind spinning a rhyme on nature for us?
Of course not. Actually, nature is one of my favorite topics to write on because it's all around us and there are a million things you can observe and see and just so little you can actually think about. So, nature is a teacher. Nature is a friend. Nature is one that defends, one that we will never trust in, with whom a bond shall remain sacred, one that shall never spread hatred, one whose spirit shall always remain awakened. With grains of sand, nature's powers would expand. But reality struck. Humans started to destruct. We plucked not only the flowers, but nature's soul. Our hearts turned from blossoms to coal, powerful but brittle and cold.
Again, mind blowing. Yeah, and I am getting to learn so much from you already. So let us see if I can spin a rhyme on something like you. And one last question, Pragya. So, given your varied interest and given your wacky nature, so what would be your dream career? Do you see yourself as an astronomy person, or do you see yourself as an author writing books, or do you see yourself as something else? What is your dream career?
Mm, To be honestly speaking, writing may be my passion, and I really do enjoy the way it feels when I'm writing. I have already published 3 books, one recently known as Prophecy Quest, which I'm currently holding. But apart from that, I really like the way it feels to just press the period on the last line of the story or typing the last word of a poem. It's magnificent. But I never really thought of writing as a main career. Even in the future, I would continue to write and publish. But what I would really like to do is explore the cosmos. Why so is because I find the universe fascinating and unpredictable. But that is not the only thing. The most beautiful thing, according to me, is also the most dangerous thing, the black hole. It's really stunning as to how something can be so dangerous, yet so beautiful. That something so dark can overpower the light of a million stars. And how the death of a star can lead to the making of the most potent thing in the universe. So when I grow up, I want to be an astrophysicist, but I would never leave my writing. And in fact, the greatest scientific minds, I think, according to me, were greatest poets. And that just encourages me further.
Okay, you may end up writing a science fictional novel, I believe.
Uh, I believe that yes, I would. Everything I would think of as a story or even as a poem would have a science fiction element in it. Like I recently wrote a story on zombies 6 months ago, and that would have a virus, a scientist, a doctor, and how a person would use certain chemicals, chemistry to solve that problem. And my recent book, Prophecy Quest, was about a wormhole and time travel and basically the 5 elements of nature. Out of which the most powerful one, as my passion is, would be the space, the element of time.
It's already getting too much. Yeah. So all the best for all your endeavors. So I hope to see
Thank
you
you.
as someone very different in the coming days.
I hope to meet again very soon. And this was an exciting experience for me. And I would really like to do this again.
Great. Thank you so much for joining.